Ascent Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents The New CEO. Lessons from CEOs on how to start well and perform quickly, minus the common mistakes. By Ty Wiggins. Narrated by Cartwright. Limit of liability, disclaimer of warranty. While the publisher and author have used their best efforts in preparing this book, they make no representations or warranties with respect to the accuracy or completeness of the contents of this book, and specifically disclaim any implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. No warranty may be created or extended by sales representatives or written sales materials. The advice and strategies contained herein may not be suitable for your situation. You should consult with a professional where appropriate. Further, listeners should be aware that websites listed in this work may have changed or disappeared between when this work was written and when it is heard. Neither the publisher nor authors shall be liable for any loss of profit or any other commercial damages, including but not limited to special, incidental, consequential, or other damages. Forward. Your first year as CEO is arguably the most decisive period in your entire CEO journey. It is when you make your mark as a leader, signaling to your organization and the market that you are not only the right choice, but that you have what it takes to lead the business to even greater heights. It is a time when you showcase your intentions as CEO and set the stage for the bold moves that you will ultimately be remembered for and will shape your legacy for years to come. A fast and impactful start is critical. Yet, as I know from my own experience becoming CEO of Wolters Kluwer 21 years ago, and as a board member witnessing other CEOs in transition, your first year is also a time when your resilience and adaptability is truly put to the test. If you can quickly get to a point of strength, navigating your organization's complex dynamics and earning the trust of your many stakeholders, you will prove your mettle and rise above. If you can't, you may find that you spend the rest of your tenure trying to recover. When I became CEO, my burning platform was clear: to reverse Wolters Kluwer's poor performance and lead the company forward in the digital age. I was excited by the challenge ahead, and having already run Wolters Kluwer's American division for a few years, I was clear on where we needed to go. I knew, however, that rallying the organization would not be so straightforward. There were, of course, skeptics who didn't believe in my vision and doubted that Wolters Kluwer could be transformed, but I knew two things to be true. First, I had been given a chance, and second, I didn't have long to prove I could do it. One of my biggest pieces of advice is to surround yourself with the right people. Know your strengths and the strengths of those around you. Find people who have skills that you don't, and bring people together to make sure they function as a team. Communicate clearly and often. The mantra of "say it and say it again" is mission critical for every CEO in transition. And always remember that no matter what you think before becoming CEO, you'll never be 100% ready. Be humble enough to acknowledge that, and commit to becoming a lifelong learner. However successful you are, there will always be something new to discover. Since I began as CEO, the world has changed significantly. Navigating this complex moment in history will require transformational CEOs who have the vision and passion to make an immediate impact. I cannot think of a better moment for Russell Reynolds Associates, RRA, to share the inside track on how to get off to a strong start as a new CEO and set up yourself for long-term success. Ty Wiggins has made it his career to help new CEOs deliver a strong start. He distills his rich experience in this trusted step-by-step guide that will help you tackle the issues you'll face during your transition. Whatever your situation, his advice works. This is a critical book for all new CEOs and those who work with them, and it could not have come at a more important time. A CEO transition is not for the faint of heart, but those who are willing and able to embrace both the opportunities and challenges that lay before them will leave an indelible mark on their organizations. So, step boldly into this transformative journey. Although it will be demanding, the rewards will be immeasurable for you, your team, and your business. Nancy McKinstry, CEO and Chairman of the Executive Board, Wolters Kluwer. Introduction. If you are listening to this book as a newly announced or appointed CEO, congratulations. You are about to embark on something that only a very small percentage of the population ever gets to experience: to lead an organization and all the people who call it theirs. Perhaps you're already in the role. Perhaps you're getting ready to start. It may be your first time being a CEO. It may be your third. But whatever your circumstances, this is a time of great celebration. This moment is about recognizing years of hard work and ambition, and I'm sure a fair bit of sacrifice along the way. It's a time when you are at your most energized to execute your vision of a brighter future for your organization, and of course, for you and your family too. Enjoy this feeling. You've earned it. And the reality is that you'll need to keep returning to this place when times get tough. Commonly, that is a when, not an if. Much of what they say about the CEO role is true. It's complex, confusing, and often exhausting. This is the most challenging and loneliest role in the business. Just how lonely is often what takes CEOs by surprise. The scope, gravity, responsibility, accountability, and exposure of the CEO role are unparalleled. I probably don't need to remind you that as CEO, you're not only responsible for your organization's strategy, but also for its financial viability and long-term sustainability. You're also responsible for the livelihood of its employees and their families, and in many cases, your suppliers and partners and their families too. You have no doubt read that CEO turnover is at an all-time high. Our research shows CEOs across the S&P 500 and FTSE 350 lasted an average of 7.6 years in their role in 2022, compared to 9.2 years in 2018. And you're no doubt familiar with the numerous stories of CEOs who didn't make it past the 2-year mark at organizations like HSBC, Procter & Gamble, Apple, Boeing, and Hewlett-Packard. If CEOs fail, especially early in their tenure, the consequences can be vast. When Fiona Hick, the CEO of Fortescue Metals, one of Australia's largest companies, stepped down after 6 months in the role, it immediately wiped off 4% of the share price, approximately $1.5 billion at the time. The tremendous amount of pressure and enormous responsibility is why so many people don't seek the role, and are happy to stay as a key contributor to someone else's strategic vision, and that's fine. We can't all be in charge. If the responsibility of the role scares you, that's normal. If it didn't, I would be concerned. The trick is to now walk the tightrope over the complex web of feelings and experiences you'll inevitably face as a new CEO, nimbly stepping between decisiveness, confidence, self-awareness, and empathy to execute your vision and unlock the most life-affirming move of your career. Why I wrote this book. As cliché as it will sound, because people told me I should. I have one of the best jobs. As a leadership advisor and global lead for the CEO and executive transition practice at Russell Reynolds Associates, RRA, my job is to guide CEOs the world over through their first 12 to 18 months in their new role. Sometimes I'm their coach, sometimes their cheerleader. Often I'm their venting partner. More often I am their challenger and sounding board. I am always their trusted advisor. The work I do and the stories I'm privy to is a true privilege. Having the opportunity to gain a backstage pass to so many CEO transitions, talking with leaders who are at the top of their game at a time when they're at their most vulnerable, has given me a unique vantage point into the good, bad, and ugly of CEO transitions. That's what I aim to share in this book. Why? Because for all the attention given to CEOs, there is very little advice on how to actually land well in the early days and set yourself up for success. Walk past any airport bookstore and you'll find countless books about what it means to be a leader or a CEO.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?